Jean felt a wave of calm wash over him. The voice was soft and gentle. It spoke of a power hidden deep within him, a power to travel through time. Jean closed his eyes, focusing on every word. Could this be his way out? The voice told him to focus. He needed to concentrate on a specific moment in time, a memory. Jean clung to the voice's instructions. He thought of the year 2024. He pictured the day he was taken, the fear, the confusion. The voice grew stronger. It urged him to reach out and touch his memories. Jean stretched out his mind, desperate to grasp onto something familiar. The year 2024 felt so close, yet impossibly far away. He had to escape. This was his only chance. A blinding light filled his vision. Jean cried out, shielding his eyes. When he could see again, everything was different. Gone were the swirling colors and strange whispers of the void. He stood on solid ground, blinking in the bright sunlight. He looked around, his heart pounding. The air smelled familiar. There was a low hum of traffic in the distance. This was Earth. This was his time. Jean took a deep breath, the reality sinking in. He had done it. He had traveled back to the year 2024. A wave of dizziness washed over him, but he fought it back. He couldn't afford to be weak, not now. He had a purpose. He had to find his parents. The weight of the void lifted. Jean felt lighter than he had in what felt like an eternity. He was free from the endless darkness, the crushing silence. Here in 2024, the world was alive with sound and color. He raised his face to the sun, feeling its warmth on his skin. It was the simple things he had missed, the feeling of wind in his hair, the smell of freshly cut grass. Sensations he had taken for granted, now cherished beyond measure. But Jean knew his journey wasn't over. The abduction, his parents. There were still so many unanswered questions, yet for the first time in what felt like forever, he felt a flicker of hope. He was back in his own time, and that was all that mattered. He would find them. He had to. The void was a place of unimaginable terror. Time had no meaning within its swirling chaos. Days bled into weeks, weeks into months. Jean had no way of knowing how long he had been trapped. The silence was the worst, a heavy, oppressive silence that threatened to crush him. The only sound was the beating of his own heart, a constant reminder of his isolation. He was surrounded by an endless expanse of nothingness with no escape in sight. But Jean was a survivor. He refused to let the void break him. He clung to the memory of his parents, their love a beacon in the darkness. He drew strength from the hope of seeing them again. It was this hope that kept him sane, that stopped him from losing himself completely. He would not give up. He would find a way out. Now, standing on familiar ground, Jean felt a surge of determination. He had escaped the void, but his ordeal was far from over. His parents were still out there, somewhere. He had to find them. He had to know they were safe. He started walking, his steps purposeful. He didn't know where he was going, but he had to start somewhere. Every street corner, every passing face held the possibility of a clue. He couldn't give up hope, not now. His abduction was a blur in his mind, a jumble of fear and confusion. He couldn't remember where they had taken him or why. But he clung to the fragments of memory, hoping they would lead him back to his parents. Every step he took was a step closer to the truth. He wouldn't rest until he found them. The road ahead was long and uncertain, but Jean refused to give in to despair. He had faced the horrors of the void and emerged stronger. He had cheated time itself to return to his own time. He would not be deterred. His love for his parents fueled his resolve. He pictured their faces, heard their voices in his mind. They were out there, and he would move heaven and earth to find them. He had to believe that. The journey would be arduous, filled with obstacles and setbacks. But Jean was ready. He had the strength of his convictions, the unwavering belief that he would see his parents again. And in that belief he found a glimmer of hope, a hope that shone brighter than any darkness the void could offer. He would never stop searching. He would find them. He had to.